Today's June 18th, and you're at the Detroit Board of Police Commissioners meeting. I'd like to call the meeting to order and start with the invocation that will be given by Commander Chaplain Stanley Mobley by Zoom.
Good afternoon, and God bless everyone this afternoon. Father, we just want to thank you for this day. This is the day that you've made, and we do believe that you have given us everything that we need pertaining to life and the knowledge of you. And so, Father, I pray for this body of servants to the city. I pray, Father God, that wisdom will rest upon them. The spirit of peace and unity will rest with them. But most of all, Father God, you'll give them vision for this city and this police department. And so I thank you, Father, for these people who you have joined together as one that come together in the spirit of unity. Bless this meeting. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. At this time, I'll ask Madam Secretary to do the roll call.
Commissioner DeWalsh.
Present.
Commissioner Camille.
Present.
Commissioner Carter is excused. Commissioner Ivy.
Present.
Commissioner Jones.
Present.
Commissioner Morris.
Present.
Commissioner Watts.
Here.
Commissioner Williams.
Present.
7 present, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Next, we'll have approval of the June 18th agenda, today's agenda. Is there a motion?
So moved.
It's been moved by Commissioner Ivy, seconded by Commissioner Jones. Is there any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Thank you. Next, we'll have approval of the minutes of June 11th. Is there a motion?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Support.
It's been moved by Commissioner Jones, supported by Commissioner Williams. Is there any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. And now, Madam Secretary, could you introduce BOPC staff, chief of police, officials, representatives, and community leaders?
Madam Chair, through the chair, BOPC staff, Janya Underwood, Teresa Blossom, Dior Mathis, Candace Hayes, Armani Arnold, Armesia Joshua, Mary Barber, Drew Fries, Chief Investigator Jerome Warfield, Corporate Counsel Conrad Mellett, Dr. Francis Jackson, parliamentarian. Okay. For Chief of Police is Deputy Chief Pritchard. Our interpreters today are Stephanie Beatty and Paul. No, they switched up on us. Okay. Court reporter Hanson, court reporting and audio Sergeant Enrique Jackson, media services Charles Henry. We have, he's here? I'm sorry, senior investigator from Chief Investigator's Office, Gianna Coulter, is also here. Maria Overall, administrative assistant via Zoom. Nicole Fisher, Secretary for 4th Precinct Community Relations Council, is also on Zoom today. I don't see Ms. Butler. J.G. Love is here representing City Council member Renata Miller. I don't see Mark Young. Ron Thomas is here, Vice President, Detroit Police Officers Association. Is Tam right here? Oh. I'm sorry. Former Commissioner William Davis via Zoom, and former Police Commissioner Ricardo Moore is via Zoom as well. I'm sorry? I'm sorry, I could not see Ms. Butler is here, 2nd Precinct Community Activist. Those are the names that I have now, Chair, that are registered as of this time.
Thank you. Under my report, we have the BOPC response to Auditor General Notice to publish performance audit. We received this on June 4th. My understanding is that it was sent, CC'd to all the commissioners as well. It is due next Monday, Madam Secretary, is that clear, correct?
That's correct. The Auditor General confirmed that close of business Monday, June 22nd.
Okay. There was a chart in this report that requested some information, updates on OCI and finance procedures. Those were completed by the two. And then there were some questions related to BOPC policies, I would say. But our response to those questions were that, we are following the charter on some of the items. You all have a copy in your board packet of the original report that was sent, and it did cover the periods, I believe, 23, 24, is that correct? OCI, Chief.
Through the chair, I believe it covered the period of 2022 through June of 2023 as far as the investigation itself.
Okay.
Although we met with them 2023, 2024, and 2025.
Okay, all right, so I know it's been several years, and they will be publishing it, but wanted to give us an opportunity to respond. So, are there any questions? Okay, that's it, that concludes my report. At this time, I'd like to ask Deputy Chief Pritchett for the chief's report.
Good afternoon, all.
Good afternoon.
Thank you.
As of today, a homicide, we're down 7 from 71 to 64 this year. Our non-fatal shootings, we're down 14% or 25 less shootings. Our robberies, we're down 29 less shootings from the same time last year. However, our Part 1 crimes are up 1%, and our total property crimes is down 10%, and we are down 3% in our carjackings year to date. So the major arrests, there was an individual charged with second-degree murder, assault with a dangerous weapon, felon in possession, and felony firearm. On June 9th, 2026, in the 19300 block of Strasburg, a defendant was angry with the victim who had recently did repairs to the defendant's vehicle. The defendant went to the victim's home, a verbal argument ensued, which resulted in the victim being shot. He was conveyed to St. John's Hospital where he was pronounced deceased. The defendant was arrested and a warrant was requested and submitted and signed for second-degree murder, assault with a dangerous weapon, felon in possession, and felony firearm. So there's a 16-year-old juvenile that was arrested and charged in connection with assault with intent to murder, discharge a firearm in or at a building, and felony firearm. So on May 23rd, 2026, at approximately 1:08 a.m., in the 19300 block of Waltham Street, it is alleged that the juvenile fired multiple shots into a residence before fleeing the scene. The residence was occupied by a 19-year-old woman, a 24-year-old woman, a 42-year-old woman, and a 44-year-old man. The victims, thank God, were not injured in the shooting. So on June 4th, an investigation by DPD led to the arrest and the detainment of the juvenile. He was charged as a 16-year-old juvenile male with 4 counts of assault with intent to murder, 1 count of discharge of a firearm in or at a building, and 5 counts of felony firearm. This juvenile is not being charged as an adult. He has been adult designated, which means that upon conviction, an adult designation allows the judge to have the option of sentencing him as a juvenile or as an adult, or to fashion a blended juvenile sentence with the option of imposing an adult sentence if the juvenile is not rehabilitated. So from June 7th through June 13th, the Traffic Enforcement Unit conducted operations in the 10th, 2nd, and 11th precincts. They made 185 traffic stops, issued 486 tickets for moving violations, and 49 tickets for speeding. The community updates are as follows. On Saturday, June 20th, the Detroit Police Department will be hosting a safety training summit tailored for early childhood, faith-based, and community organizations. It will be held from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Huntington Place at 1 Washington Boulevard. For additional information, contact Neighborhood Police Officer Eric Hill at 313-618-0888. So we all know Monday is our annual fireworks, and we're looking forward to everyone to view the spectacular display. This year, we have a new viewing area available to the public at Irma Henderson Park. You can also see the fireworks at Hart Plaza, Spirit Plaza, and Belle Isle. Once again, no weapons are allowed in the viewing areas. The city's curfew is 8 p.m. for all minors 17 and younger. After 8 p.m., minors must be with a responsible adult 21 and over. So on July 1st, Chief Bettison, along with members of Detroit Police Department, will host his weekly Walk a Mile Wednesday in the 8th Precinct. Stay tuned to the department's social medias page for more information about the location. And finally, on Thursday, June 25th, at the 4th Precinct, they will host their annual Family Fun Day, where community members can join the 4th Precinct officers in a day full of fun, food, music, and free activities. The event will take place at the 4th Precinct at 4700 West 4th Street from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. And that concludes the chief report for this week.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments?
Madam Chair,
Go ahead, Commissioner.
thank you. Thank you for your report, Chief. First, I just wanted to take the opportunity to share that last week I observed the 911 operators new hire class, and Senior Kirkland was facilitating. She did a wonderful job. She's very customer service focused and patient with the trainees, and so I just want to acknowledge her for that, and thank you for allowing me to sit in the class. A couple requests here. One, with the recent promotions, can all of us have updated org charts for our precincts, particularly members that have the most contact with the community? So like commander, captain, and the MPO sergeants and MPOs, so we know who's who with the updates.
Through the chair, I'm sure we can get you guys that, and I'll make sure that it gets to,
Madam Chair, thank you, DC Pritchett. Your staff, the BOPC staff, has requested, and the chief's office has said as soon as it's ready, because there have been some changes as of early this week. So as normal process, as soon as it is ready, BOPC staff will be one of the first on the list, and we will send it out to the board members.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Secretary, as well as the chief. Also, through the chair, what's being done to make sure that the neighborhood coverage and relationships with the individual precincts are being maintained while there's, increased activity downtown and for special events?
through the chair, even though the downtown does require a lot of personnel, we ensure that each precinct has amount coverage needed for each residence. It wouldn't be fair to send everyone downtown, the precinct would go lacking. So the command officers have been tasked to make sure they have adequate coverage in each precinct in the city of Detroit, doing every Monday through Friday, including the weekends. So that the precincts are staffed, the needs are being met, response time will be down like it will be on a normal day when they are not downtown.
Okay, so our residents in the neighborhood should expect the same level of service?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you so much. And then, Madam Chair, last question. I see the department responded last week in regards to former Detective Barbara Simmons, indicating that there's no active criminal investigations against her. This was related to the individuals who have been wrongfully convicted, on the heels of her interrogation practices. Is it possible for the department to provide some more context around why no criminal investigation is being pursued on this?
Through the chair, I will get with the chief and see what we can give to the board and see what's going on, because I really don't know the intricacies regarding her. There's no convictions or what's going on with that. But
Okay.
I would bring it to the chief and he will get back with you guys.
Thank you, through the chair. Thank you for following up. Thank you.
Thank you. Just real quick before I ask, did you say the number of officers that would be assigned to downtown on Monday for the
Through the chair,
fireworks?
ma'am, I don't know the exact number of officers that are assigned downtown, but I do know that the precincts will have adequate coverage as well.
Okay. All right. I would like to know that number, so if we could get that at some point. Are there any other questions?
Through the chair.
Go ahead,
I just have a
Commissioner
quick
Ivey.
question. Is Barbara Simmons still on the force?
No, she isn't.
Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry, through the chair, no, she isn't.
Thank you.
Through the
Hey.
chair, just a question about, are there other agencies participating in the downtown, in the fireworks?
Through the chair, I know Wayne County Sheriff's Department are helping us. Normally, Chief Benson has a relationship with Macomb County as well as Oakland County. And so they came out during the draft to assist with Chief White and for the games. So I'm almost certain that, I know Wayne County Sheriff's Department definitely will be here. I'm not certain that Macomb County or Oakland County Sheriff will be able to assist.
Thank you.
you.
Madam Chair,
Just-
just as a
oh,
point
go
of information, Commissioner Carter, I was in the meeting with the chief last week. State Police will be doing their usual freeway coverage, and they will be the ones responsible for monitoring the freeways as usual and shutting down the various entrances after 6 o'clock.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Williams.
Yeah, through the chair, I got a question for you. Or should I say I have something I want to share. This past week, I was able to talk to a few different business owners in my district who are part of the Green Light program. And one of the issues and concerns that they had, and they wanted some more information on how they can get more presence, they say that the officers do come out, but all they do is sign a paper and then leave. And they would like to have a little bit more presence at their location versus coming in for a few minutes, signing a paper, and then leaving out.
Through the chair, prior to me taking the Detective Bureau, I was over the west side, and AC Hayes had brought the same thing to us, that the Project Green Light business owners were not happy with the amount of service they were receiving from the officers. So the officers were directed to go to the Green Light location, to go inside, to have conversations with the owners and sign a book. And then they do periodic checks without going in of the Green Light businesses. So what I will do, I would leave this meeting and once again, take it to the east side and west side deputy chiefs that the owners are still complaining that they're not getting the presence that they feel they deserve.
Yeah, that would be great. And can I get a contact number? I would like to be able to give that information to the business owners that I have talked to.
Through the chair, can we meet offline? I can give you those numbers after the meeting.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, thank you very much for that report.
Thank you.
And now we're on oral communications and public comments.
Madam Chair.
Yes, oh,
And I had my hand up
I'm sorry.
earlier, so I just put.
go ahead, Commissioner Bowman.
Okay, thank you. I just was curious because you had shootings into a house on Waltham and then it being perpetrated by a person, a minor in the teens. This sounds very familiar, having heard of a similar instance that led to the investigation on Maross, where one of the suspects from a different shooting took his life. And I'm just curious as to whether there is any connection between this shooting and what happened before.
Through the chair, due to the fact that the Maross is an open investigation, I really can't speak on that. I can speak on the juvenile that was charged with firing into the car and firing into the house on Waltham. And he turned himself in. He has been charged as a juvenile for those offenses that he committed.
Thank you.
Okay, and before I forget, we were joined by Commissioner Bowman and Commissioner Carter, just for the record. Sorry, thank you. Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, now we'll go to public comment. And just want to mention that comments are limited to 2 minutes. Inappropriate language and comments will not be tolerated and may delay the TV broadcast and video posts. Could we have our first speakers?
Thank you, Madam Chair. At this time, we have 15 speakers. Our first 3 speakers will be Mr. Alvin Stokes, Ms. Williams, and Mr. Don Johnson.
Good afternoon. My name is Alvin Stokes. I am the president of Citywide Citizens Police Community Relations. And I felt the need to come here to address some of the issues that were brought up in the last community group. We are the oversight for community relations for all precincts. The only time we step in and do anything is when an issue is brought to our attention, then we're invited to that meeting to make sure things are happening correctly. With number 5, they did not follow their bylaws. It was brought to our attention. came in and told them they had to redo the election. Not only did they not follow their bylaws, their president is not eligible to run according to their bylaws. So as long as a group is following their bylaws, Citywide has no reason to step in. Number 7, Ms. Bailey said something about us ruining number 7. Ms. Bailey was president at one time in number 7, then she quit. The citizens decided that if they're not a resident of the precinct, which Ms. Bailey is not, that they could not sit on the board. Ms. Bailey hijacked the 7th Precinct Community Relations because she organized it and registered with the state. She felt the need to be a part of that, and she decided to go out on her own and organize the 7th Precinct as a whole. Citywide was started back in '68, right after the disturbance. A group of people got together in Boston Edison and started Citywide. In about the 70s, we branched out to the precincts. Every precinct has their own community relations group. Citywide is just the overseer for that group. So I felt the need to come here and explain to y'all, because most of you don't know anything about Citywide. But anyone who wants to sit in on the meeting is more than welcome to come and join us at the meeting. We meet the 3rd Thursday of every month via Zoom. Thank you very much, Madam President.
Thank you. Commissioner Bowman.
Yes, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask through the chair, ask the community member a question or two, if that's okay. Okay, I'm just curious, and by the way, I'd appreciate it also if you'd email me and at scott.bowman@detroitmi.gov concerning more details. But me, I just want to quickly ask, and maybe you can send me more documentation in the email later because we have limited time here. What is the legal authority, and where does the legal authority come from that gives Citywide control of the individual precinct community relations councils?
Well, like I said, when they started in '68, they were just Citywide. And when we branched out to the precincts, we left Citywide as the overseer of the precincts. So like I said, as long as the precincts are following their bylaws, Citywide has nothing to do with it. We are invited into the meetings if there's an issue to address the issue.
May I?
Go ahead.
I'm just trying to get clear. So is it in the bylaws of the precinct organizations that they are subordinate to Citywide? Is that where it comes from?
Through the chair, it is in Citywide's bylaws, and I'll be more than happy to share the bylaws for Citywide with you.
I just want to point out that if an organization does not itself subordinate itself to another voluntary organization, that I don't really see how the other organization can simply, in their own bylaws, take over. And that's why I'm not clear on that.
Through the chair, every precinct is part of Citywide. They have representation to Citywide. According to our bylaws, every precinct is eligible to send 3 people to represent their precinct at Citywide, which give them voting rights and a right to make any decisions as far as Citywide is concerned.
I think we'll need to have further conversations.
No
if you can email me, thank you.
Okay.
Madam Chair.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
Thank you. If Mr. Stokes mentioned that the citywide meetings are every 3rd Thursday, what time are those?
We'll meet at 6:30
6:30. Thank you.
And he mentioned, I think there's Zoom,
There's Zoom.
right?
via Zoom right now.
Zoom meetings,
yes.
okay. Any other questions?
Through the
Commissioner?
chair. Mr.
Go ahead.
Stokes.
Commissioner Ivey.
Thank you. Through the chair. Mr. Stokes, can I give you my information? Because I want to know, because I've heard of Citywide, but I didn't know that you guys were the overseer of all the precincts in every district. So I kind of wonder if I'm understanding that right. So if somebody in my precinct, which is District 1, decides to do whatever, do they have to go through Citywide?
No, ma'am.
So can you, and I guess I just want to kind of get an explanation, because it kind of sounds like you're saying you're of over all the precincts. Could you explain that a little bit further to me?
Through the chair. I personally not, citywide is.
Okay.
I just happen to be the president. Now, every precinct has their own bylaws.
Right.
Most of our bylaws are 80% the same, 20% different is depending on what your precinct is asking for. As long as, and citywide don't approve their bylaws. The citizens can approve their bylaws. So you have to govern yourself according to the bylaws that the citizens of that precinct approved.
Okay. I just definitely want to, talk with you offline, but
Nope.
yeah, just I wanted to have some clarification on it because I was kind of stuck on that. But thank you for that.
No problem.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay, hearing none. Next speaker, please.
Hello, through the chair.
Hello.
Through like 4 or 5 years ago, it's been 5 years, 21, 26. Okay, so when I started making police reports at the 12th precinct, I was having a lot of issues over there at the 12th precinct. So a police officer hit me 4 years ago. And I was complaining about officers following me. And at that time, I was not aware of all this illegal corruption with ex-offenders and non-American citizens on the Detroit Police Department. Like I said, it's not the ballot, it's the names on the ballots, these fake names. And this is how they are voting illegally. But at the 12th precinct, it's the detective. He's non-American, and I'm gonna make sure the FBI started there at the 12th precinct because he did not follow the law concerning my weapon. And I went to OCI, Chief went there, and he said he was not going to release my weapon. But see, this is what I'm saying with abuse of authority, and especially if he's on the force with a fake name, that's not acceptable. So it's time to clean house in this city, period. I complain about a whole lot of issues that goes on in this city, and none of this could have been taking place if it didn't start from the top. Because what happened over at the location where I stayed at, everything that I've been seeing, I wasn't aware of DTE and all these city official companies participating in RICO, organized crime. That's the bottom line. Because at the end of the day, the fire department, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. Somebody had broken into my house. It just showed up. And this young woman, this woman I was complaining about all these years, is revolving right back to her. And she can be a fake police officer, worked at the 12, but when you pregnant, you cannot be a police officer. And she had a baby back to back. And Chief Warfield, you know what I'm talking about.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And thank you for this opportunity. My name is Don Johnson. I'm current president of 12th Precinct Community Relations, and I've been president for over 30 years. I just come to let you know that we do not do anything unless it's followed by the bylaws. We have a protocol to follow that Benny Napoleon and Janice Winfrey put together to show what our rules and regulations are. And anything in our bylaws that we can't solve our problems with, we are to refer to Robert's rules. Now, unfortunately, when other precincts want to choose a president and what have you, they should give that president to be a copy of the bylaws so they'll know what their responsibilities are. But a lot of precincts don't want to do that, and they want to do things their way. Well, we can't have it that way, because once you start bending the rules, sooner or later you're going to break them. So what we try to do is work with anyone and everybody, because at Citywide, I'm vice president of Citywide. We invite everybody, every precinct. If you have a problem, let us know, and we will come to your meeting to find out what's going on and come to a good solution as to how to solve the problem. Now, we don't haphazardly do these things and what have you. This was established way back when, in 1968, with Ruth Barton, Dr. Drain, and many others. And Mr. Mallett, you know all of those folks. So it's not a haphazard organization. We don't try to roughshod anybody. We don't try to bully anybody and what have you. And I joined the police department back in 1969. but it wasn't for me. So I stayed at Ford Motor Company. But I just want to say that I appreciate all the work you do. I know it's difficult, but somebody got to do it, and I thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Next speaker.
Our next three speakers will be J. Gregory Love, Lead, Detroit. How to say it right? Is that right? Okay. And Stephen Grady Muhammad.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, and to the board.
Good afternoon.
On Tuesday, it was very refreshing to be at council to see the vote for the extension of the curfew. On behalf of Councilmember Miller, the 69,000 folks that watched the fireworks off of Jefferson Avenue, that's a lot. It is very, very good to know that that 8 o'clock curfew was put in place to a vote of 6-2. That was very refreshing. Secondly, we understand that last Thursday evening there was an election of the BOPC, and there is new leadership that is about to take place. We believe in District 5 that the next 4 years means that rising higher will be a lot easier because collaboration, cooperation, and communication will be at its height. And we think that this board can show the way for public safety in this city. So we look forward to that. Secondarily, as a subject matter expert in incident command, there are actually five pillars: command, operations, logistics, and finance, that go into preparing for something like next Monday night. The citizens of this city should not take that lightly. The training, the hours that the police officers, firefighters, EMS personnel, multi-agency, multi-jurisdictional, state police, Wayne County sheriffs, and all of those agencies, internationally in Canada, they're all looking to do the same thing: keep us safe on that evening. That particular vote was just for the downtown area. All the remaining of the city is still under DPD. And they're indicated, as the deputy chief indicated, that there are enough officers to cover that area. Under Bedison and Hayes, I don't think that anything will be missed in the next few years. I think 24 months from now, we're going to be rated as the top public safety in this country. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm Elena Herrera, representing LEAD Michigan, LLEAD, which is a statewide Latino organization, and I have permission to speak for our chapter and for the state on the questions that I'm raising. Mine are very brief. Does the Police Commission have the authority to hire its own attorney? And if they do, who makes the decisions when the question arises? And the reason I'm asking is because there could be times that there could be a conflict of interest with the city attorney also representing the Board of Police Commissioners. Should I sit down?
Yes, we do have that authority.
Okay, and then, so you can make a decision to hire an attorney if there's deemed to be a conflict of interest?
So, through the chair, the city attorney represents every entity that is a part of the city of Detroit. If there is a conflict, then, and in fact, at one point today, I will be presenting to the board, in fact, a real-life irresolvable conflict. And in that instance, then outside counsel, in cooperation with the affected entity or commission or department or city council or the Board of Police Commissioners and the Corporation Council will come to a mutual decision to get outside counsel. So it's an issue. It's a modest issue. It's not ever present. There are people in the general community who don't like the fact that Corporation Council represents the Detroit City Council, represents the mayor, represents the Board of Police Commissioners, represents the Water Board, represents all of the various constituent agencies. We do so in as effective manner as we possibly can. I do think that we provide a high level of service. We do so at a tremendously reduced rate. And I think, Elena, you know this, Ms. Harada, you know this. You've got law firms now who claim that their hourly rate is $1,000 an hour.
I see that.
The citizens of the city of Detroit cannot be called upon to pay those rates. And so the law department steps up, and the bottom line is that, and I've said this to our current board chair and to the vice chair, that if there comes a time where the board in general, pursuant to a vote, absolutely believes that my services here are no longer required and they want their own lawyer, then we will facilitate that. I am not a hindrance to their independence. Clearly, these men and women are intellectual individuals who do their own thinking. So the answer to your question is yes. But under the broad framework that we all operate under, which is the Detroit City Charter, which says quite clearly that the Corporation Counsel's Office is the legal counsel for the entire city of Detroit.
I just have a quick addition. Under adverse parties, the BOPC is tasked with disciplining officers and reviewing policies in consultation with the chief of police. If the Board of Police Commissioners' interests clash with the mayor, the police chief, or the DPT administration, a law department attorney represents both sides, creating a non-waivable conflict of interest. And investigations, the Board of Police Commissioner operates as Office of Chief Investigator to oversee citizen complaints. The reason I raise it is because it could give the appearance that citizens have no avenue of redress. That's the reason I raise it. Not to say that there is a conflict of interest, but if the police commissioner needs to get separate legal counsel for investigating complaints against officers by citizens, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Mother Bernice, may I have permission to speak?
Yes, you may.
My name is Brother Stephen Grady Muhammad, and I'm the resident agent and assistant grants manager for Detroit 300, one of 7 CVI groups in the city. To our chair, Madam DeWalsh, to the board, I just want you all to know you all have a rough job, and I support you.
Amen.
Thank
Say
you.
that again. Right? To our corporation counsel, my brother, Conrad Mallett, Cass Tech. I love and support you, brother.
Thank you, sir.
You better believe it.
Yes.
To our OCI, Mr. Warfield, Reverend Warfield. I love and support you as well. About a week or so ago, you all had, wait a minute, I gotta go one place, Darrell Woods. When I made the call to you, my brother, a few years ago, when the youth in the juvenile detention facility, they didn't have any staff. And they called me up and they said, we can't even feed them. We can't get them showers. We can't get them phone calls. I called 10 brothers to come in there and help me. You were one of those brothers. Thank you for responding, brother. I appreciate that. About a week or so ago, you all had an election, and you elected a new chair and a new vice chair. My brother, Robert Jones, and Beverly Watts. I've known this brother for over 50 years, Cass Tech Spirits. Beverly Watts, I've worked with her at City of Detroit and Wayne County. I support you both. As I'm closing out, I also have support for ShotSpotter. DC Pritchett, I want you and your team to have everything that you need to keep yourselves safe and the citizens of the city of Detroit safe as well. So I support you. Last thing I'm going to say is this. Baron Coleman, MPO, had a terrible fire in his house and has lost everything. Let's please wrap our arms of support around him and give him love because he has served this city. Thank you all so much.
Amen.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Our next 3 speakers are Bishop James Williams, Miss Tanya Jackson, Miss Bernice Smith.
Thank you, Madam Chair, to all of the commissioners, those I know and those I don't. There is a saying that desperate times call for desperate measures. I'm here today representing Crime Stoppers of Michigan because Crime Stoppers has come upon desperate times. We sent some information earlier that I hope just a one-sheeter. To give some background information on Crime Stoppers of Michigan. We've been serving Southeast Michigan for over 30 years now. Most who are aware of what we do, it started out just as a tip line to provide a way for residents to give anonymous tips that Crime Stoppers then disseminates through police agencies. As I said, we serve 7 counties in Southeast Michigan, but the majority of the work that we do obviously revolves around the city of Detroit. For those 30 years, we have never received any governmental funding. All of our funding has been through corporations and private donations. Those who work in nonprofits know that over the course of the past few years, corporations and others have backed away tremendously. We are now at a point where we need assistance from those that we have served. On behalf of our president, Dan DiBardino, who was called away, unfortunately, out of town on family business, I've been asked to come and make a desperate appeal that perhaps in your role reviewing and approving the city's budget, that perhaps some of the law enforcement discretionary funds could be used to help sustain us through this difficult period. I am aware that, well, not a great deal, but I am aware that in recent years, funds have been distributed to the amazing CVI groups that we have here in the city. I have worked with a number of those groups and certainly don't begrudge that funding. As a matter of fact, I helped to support that. Before Bishop Harris, that many of you know, who served at Ceasefire for many years, before he was the faith-based person sitting at the ceasefire table, I actually recommended Bishop Harris for that role. So I've been involved in that work and I support it wholeheartedly. My request here today says that there is another part. Certainly, the CVI groups have done an amazing job and helping to prevent some of the criminal activity that we were seeing in our city. However, there are still crimes that happen. There is still a need to take the criminal element off of our streets, and that is the role that Crime Stoppers has been helping for more than 30 years.
Okay, thank you, sir. Your 2 minutes are up. We did get the message. Commissioner Woods?
Yep. How you doing, Bishop?
I'm doing good, Brother Woods.
So I've been seeing in the press that there's been some challenges with Crime Stoppers. Have you guys had a meeting with the chief, Dan Bernardino, and all those folks over there?
Dan has had meetings with Chief Bedison and support. Delicately, there was an offer of support, well, not necessarily an offer of support. There was a statement that support would be forthcoming. However, we are now up against a July 1st deadline, and that support has not materialized. We've also secured from the House of Representatives in Lansing a budgetary line item. But of course, that budget has not yet been approved by the Senate in Lansing. And at this point, because we're already in June, if that budget is approved, those funds will not be available until the fourth quarter. Again, there have been ongoing conversations. There has been verbal support offered, but that has not materialized.
Okay. Have you tapped into like some of the unions and some of the faith-based organizations to be able to maybe do a fundraiser for you guys?
We've been, yes.
Yeah.
We've
Do
been.
you have anything planned?
There are, yes, there are
Keep
some.
us abreast of that.
I'm sorry?
Keep us abreast
Absolutely.
of that. You know,
Yes, sir,
and,
we
and
will.
we'll see how your conversations goes with the chief, because, you know, that's more of in his purview to be able to have that discussion with you guys on if anything that could be done from a department standpoint. And but I'm happy myself to support any type of fundraiser effort that you all have. And I'm sure many of the board members, if not all, will be supportive.
Yes, definitely. Any other comments, questions?
Thank you for your
All
time.
right, thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hi, my name is Tanya Jackson. I'm the victim of Deion Dawson. This is his picture. I want everybody to look at this officer. This matter have been spoken on by Mr. Smith for several months. He did physical damage to me. He also said he should have shot me in my head. I've been a citizen of Detroit for 35 years. I have never in my life feared from police officers. Never. His behavior as an officer, all over social media, I know DPD have been getting a many posts and reports on this officer, and the fact that he's about to be allowed to be back on the street. What about the safety of me? My question is, I thought the chief was gonna be here because I spoke with him personally in February about this matter. Who to say if he not gonna act on it? It's to the point, my mother lived where he worked at the 6th precinct. She don't even want me to come to her house. No, he not on the street. He's gonna be on the street. Who to say he really not gonna act? I wanna know, to anybody on this board, what y'all gonna tell my kids if this man act on his behavior? What is y'all gonna tell my kids? It's been 7 months and nothing have been done. 7 months. What y'all gonna do? This is the officer. What is y'all gonna do when this man take my life? What is y'all, can anybody answer that? Who gonna be the one that call my mother or my father? Who gonna be the one to explain to my children that this officer killed their mother? He acted out of retaliation. He's a violent police officer. He do not deserve to be a police officer for the department. Nobody gonna answer. Who gonna tell my kids that this officer killed me? Because it's gonna happen. He's dangerous, very, very dangerous. It's been so many people that came forward and not coming to speak because he retaliate. It's so many people that still have not been answered their questions. What happened to him? A lot of people thought he was fired. What y'all gonna do about it when this man killed me? Who gonna come to the scene and remember my face in this office? I want everybody to look at this officer, Deion Dawson, 6th precinct. Y'all gotta do something before this man killed me. Nobody gonna answer. Who's going to tell my children? Anybody? Who gonna tell my kids? Is the chief gonna call or come to the scene and see me? And this matter been going on for over 7 months. Mr. Smith spoke on it. Commissioner Morris, Commissioner Ivory, what's gonna happen? Is y'all gonna ever take it into consideration that this man is dangerous? He's very dangerous. I'm still getting harassed even though the PPO was lifted by his kid's mother. Why do I have to be harassed? What do I do when this officer pulled me over? And I refuse. He know I don't want no deals with him, and he act on it. What are y'all gonna do? I wanna know, who gonna explain to my kids that their mother is gone? I'm 35 years old. I ain't never feared from a soul. He's in danger to the community. Go on social media. It's a viral post about this officer, and I hope y'all looking at him. Deion Dawson. Thank you.
Commissioner Woods?
Yes. Chief Investigator, have we had a deep dive, excuse me, through the chair, have we had a deep dive on this situation?
Sorry. Through the chair. Yes. So a couple of things. One, we have about 45, close to 50 complaints against this officer in our system. In addition to that, the current complaints we had to send over to IA because of the criminal nature of them.
DC Pritchard, I understand the IA aspect and all that type of stuff. Do we have some movement on this particular situation? First of all, I want to, if she feel unsafe, we want to make sure that that they're sure that things are being taken very seriously, to be able to help her understand that she could be safe, first and foremost. But secondly, I know it's complicated to speak out in this open forum like this because of all the legal issues there. But how serious is this matter being handled, and so that it can come to a resolution very quickly?
Through the chair, I don't know at what stage of the investigation it is right now, but my commitment to her, I want to talk to her after this meeting, and I'm going to exchange my number with her, and I'm going to ensure that she does not have to feel unsafe in the city of Detroit with a police officer who has been accused of doing things. I don't know what the gist of the complaints are, but I plan on talking to her when this meeting is over.
And this have been before us too many times. Mr. Smith has talked about this situation, and I think that as far as from the board perspective, we need to be immediately updated, even if in a confidential way, whatever, but this is, is riveting to hear.
Absolutely.
And there need to be some resolution of this situation.
Through the chair, I will ensure that the board gets an updated response from either internal affairs or disciplinary where the case sits right now, and make sure you guys get it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Watts?
Yes, just real quickly, I agree.
The mic, please.
Oh, yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Yes, I agree that Mr. Smith and others have been bringing this forth, and especially Commissioner Ivey last week. I know there's things that can't be spoke about because they're going through the system, just like VP Wood said, but the concern is and has always been the safety of her. Oh. I'll wait till you can hear me.
Through the chair, if I may, I was just informed that he has been suspended for 30 days for one incident, and the other ones are being investigated as well. But I still will ensure that you guys get an updated, as of today's date, what the situation is and what he's facing and the remaining steps to be taken.
Yeah,
Madam Chair, hold on, I still have the floor.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Thank you. Thank you for that update. Welcoming to hear that the suspension is there. But again, the priority for me is the safety and that she feels safe, whether he's suspended or on the job. So I'm glad that you're going to speak to her after and exchange your number, because right now for me, that's the number one priority, is her safety and her feeling safe. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Commissioner Woods?
Yeah, and also in addition, that if the 30-day suspension, I don't know when it happened and things of that nature, but until all these investigations are dealt with, that I don't think that it's appropriate for him to be out on the streets.
That's right. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner,
I think he was first.
Commissioner Bowman, Commissioner Camille, and then Commissioner Ivey.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to add, and I don't know if this person has already done so, but I do know that it doesn't require any kind of conviction or anything against the party that one feels threatened by to get a PPO, to at least have some document to prevent unwanted contact with an individual. So that, I don't know if that has been pursued, but that is an option.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Camille?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So in relation to this, and I raised this last week as well, so 2 weeks ago, As a board, we approved to have the officers that are on administrative leave with pay brought before us for hearings and in closed session if the union wanted closed sessions for them. That was supposed to start this week. So I don't see these on the agenda. Is there some type of update? Because this is one of them. And then there were others as well. So that'll give us an opportunity to understand exactly what's going on here so that we can advocate in the right direction on this as well. We just can't get the full picture in an open session like this.
Thank you. Madam Secretary, is there an update on that?
So,
On the
I don't-
hearings? Okay, Commissioner, Corporation.
The request made by Commissioner Camille, as I understood it, was to the chief, that these persons come before the board. Now, if you, and Commissioner Camille, I know you study the charter, and it says that the decision may be appealed to the Board of Commissioners. If these people have not appealed to the Board of Commissioners, then the chief's ability to place these people on suspension, according to the charter then, is to be upheld. If what you're looking for is a private briefing on the circumstances of each one of the decisions that the chiefs made, we can do that in a closed session. Whether or not we're going to have, whether or not the people who are suspended can be compelled to come to a hearing when they've not requested an appeal to the board, the charter doesn't allow that, and that would require some discussion. I don't have an opinion on that today. If what the board is seeking is more information associated with the disciplinary decision that the chief has made, we can do that in a closed session. If there is an appeal by a member of the department after the chief has made a decision, the charter says that comes before you, and they've got to be heard. So someplace in the middle, I'm sure there's an answer to the question, but we just can't compel a person who has been disciplined by the chief, who has not appealed to the board, to come and explain themselves. That is not within the purview of the board's capability, nor is it necessary, quite frankly, Commissioner Camille. If what you want is the basis upon which the chief made the decision, we can go into a closed session, and then the chief can go line by line and explain to the board how it is that he came and what we can do, and this is a public meeting. The officers clearly are reminded by the union that if they have an appeal, they should bring it. But what the board can't do is to reach into the disciplinary process beyond the powers granted them by the charter.
Madam Chair?
Go ahead, Commissioner.
Thank you for that, Council Mallett. So I just want to add some context to the conversation that happened 2 weeks ago when the board took this vote, because it wasn't looking for an appeal in regards to the suspension with pay that they're currently on, but to consider moving them to a duty status change to administrative leave without pay. So it's not to appeal the step that they're currently on, because these, after some back and forth on emails with the department, there have been developments in these situations since some of them have not been brought to the board. Some of them were brought to the board a long time ago, and there have been developments, and they've been sitting on suspension with pay using tax dollars at home for a long time, which can be a whole different context, a whole different conversation for us as a board, as opposed to a short period of time with them suspended with pay, and then they have a potential to be terminated. So the context around these have developed since they were initially brought forward, and like I mentioned, some haven't been brought forward at all. And so we're not looking for, at least to my understanding from the vote that we took 2 weeks ago, was not looking for an appeal, but for the consideration of administrative leave without pay. I will add that last week, the chief mentioned something about, what did he call it? Jeopardy. Double jeopardy, which didn't quite make sense in this context. And so it would be good to get a legal opinion on if having these individuals come back before the board again for consideration of administrative leave without pay would be double jeopardy if that wasn't placed on them, if that wasn't approved in the past. So we just want to know, like, what can we do next? Because there's nothing on the agenda to go into closed session to get a briefing. The request that the board approved 2 weeks ago has not been acted on. So we have an outstanding item that the board has approved to move forward that's not been done.
So through the chair, Commissioner Woods, go ahead. I mean, I'm not running.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
Yep. The chief did address this on last week, and I think the double jeopardy aspect of it was the ones who came before the board, and we decided not to suspend without pay. So that was the double jeopardy part of it that he was referencing, whether that be the case or not. I'm not a lawyer or whatever, but the fact of the matter is that he did agree, the chief did agree to go into closed session in conjunction with the Corporation Counsel to give us a legal opinion. What is our legal
well, if I could, Madam Chair,
authority, whatever.
Speak directly to Commissioner Camille. What is the problem we're trying to solve? What is the issue? Is the issue that these people have been remaining in a paid status for X amount of time, things have changed, and because of the change in circumstance, the board is wondering what is going on? Is that pretty much in essence where we are?
Pretty much, and I'll add to that once the board does understand what is going on, it may be sufficient information for us to want to change the duty status to administrative leave without pay. I don't know until we have the conversations that we normally have in closed session, and then we come out and vote. So that's
right.
what I'm thinking.
So what I'm through the chair, Commissioner Camille, what I recommend is this: is that the chief in a closed session bring us up to date on all the persons who are in whatever status, leave without pay, leave with pay, to be sure that the circumstances surrounding the decision made by the board have not changed. If it has changed, then we need a recommendation from the chief as to what he now recommends based on the change of circumstance, so that the board can react appropriately to the chief's ability to impose discipline. But the board has every right to say the current circumstance is unacceptable, and chief, we need a recommendation from you as to what happens with Officer Smith, Jones, or Anderson next. So Commissioner Camilla, is an absolute way to get to where you want to go. The chief has to make the recommendation, but in a closed session, if there has been a change of circumstance, the board can say, Chief, we would like you to come back with a recommendation based on your acknowledgement that circumstances have changed. The status quo cannot be maintained, and that's the point. The chief has to make the decision, and then the board can react to it.
Madam Chair?
Go ahead.
Thank you. So I agree, the status quo, and that sums it up right there. The status quo cannot stay. Like, it cannot stay this way. So this has dragged on for several weeks. So I move that closed session where we get the briefing is on the schedule for next week, on the agenda for next week. And that's my motion, Madam Chair.
Okay, a motion has been made to have the chief and the Corporation Counsel meet with us in closed session next week, that it be on the agenda so that we can discuss the 7 officers that are currently suspended with pay to determine what their current status is. Is there a second?
A second.
I'm sorry, it's seconded by Commissioner Williams. Is there any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Thank you. So it will be on the agenda next week, Madam Secretary. Thank you. Our next speakers, please.
Yes, here I come. I can't believe what I'm hearing. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Right now, I wish Coleman Alexander Young was alive, because you know what he say? He said, "To hell with your response. Fire him." You know, goodness well, we got a beautiful police department. He cleaned out the I'm sorry. I am sorry, because you know why? Because I got girls, probably her age. And if any police or anybody else touch any one of them, that's it. What I want to let you gentlemen know, women don't need to be misused by no means. And I mean what I'm saying. Long as they act decent and respectful, they don't need to be misused by the police or anybody that wear pants. And I don't like it sitting here listening to this young lady saying that our police department, who I love and admire because they wear that uniform. Bettison, he will get a call from me when I leave out of here. I just want you to realize we are human beings, women are. We're not to be mistreated. We're not to be misused, okay? You may find some that needs a good whooping or something, but when you find one that's a mother and she's taking care of children, I got to fight for her, because I had 5. I got 3 girls. I can't call them girls. I got a banker executive. I got a postmaster. And then I got one girl that's 66 years old. She wouldn't dare leave Ford. She loved Ford since she's been there since 65 years. She went to school with Magic Johnson, and she didn't want to leave Ford to go to college, finish college. So I'm telling you what I know. Men, respect the women. And that goes for the police department too. I love my department. I will fight for them to the end. But when you do wrong, I'm turning my back on you, and I'm going to raise hell with you. He don't need no pay. Give him nothing. Nothing. Let him realize what he has done. This is not this is a woman. She got children. So respect her, please. Board, do what you're supposed to do, the right thing, and not sit there in your seat and disrespect that young lady. She needs to be respected. If Coleman Young was alive, you wouldn't even have to talk about it. I was on the board. I was the first one on the board. Believe me, and I remember how tough he was with the police department. He even fired one because he was disrespectful to the citizens. I don't know if you know that, Mallet, but you wasn't young enough. You was too young to know that. But anyway,
Thank you.
your dad can know it. Oh, it's my time up?
Yes, it is.
Oh, I'm
Thank
sorry.
you.
Young
Thank
lady.
you.
Chief,
Next.
tell the chief I love him. I'll call him later.
Next speaker.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Our next 3 speakers will be Minister Eric Blunt, Mr. Charles Cousin, and Ms. Michelle George.
For once, I agree with you. Good afternoon, Board. I'm Minister Eric Blunt from Sacred Heart Catholic Church right here in Detroit. Just so many things have been revealed in this meeting. For once, we get somebody other than me that says something needs to happen to police officers who misbehave. So if there's enough to suspend them, there should be enough to withhold their pay and not give them medical benefits. Force them into an appeal process before this board, and then we'll get some real results. Not 30, 50 different complaints before someone says, hey, my life is threatened. No. For the new Chair Jones, we pray for you.
Thank you.
We can't believe everything everybody says because we see what they do. And so as chair, you get no pass. Be very well aware of that, because we've had other chairpersons of this board who outright lied to us, who outright lied to law enforcement, and then got into some real problems. If you don't know who I'm referring to, Commissioner Chairperson Brian Ferguson, caught with a prostitute, lied to law enforcement. Oh, she jumped in. I was just trying to help her. No, they had him under surveillance and knew he was wrong, but he came to this board as chairperson and lied through his teeth. And so we serve a God of truth and justice. And like one of my favorite priests would say, Father Tyrone Robinson, justice comes before peace. So don't be so upset about how people behave when they look at the police officers when we've been lied to so many times. So, and for Rain Williams, if you didn't see her story on the news this week, she was shot while everybody else was running. She was an innocent bystander. Police didn't show where the guns they said they had and what they thought, but yet another innocent citizen has been shot by the police. And yet no public outcry, oh, we can't say anything. But when they think they're right, they release the body-worn camera footage instantly and give you, many times, a false narrative. Oh, my time is up. Oh, my one last question. This is summertime, the Detroit Detention Center. All of their buildings do not have air conditioning. Some of these people, whether innocent or guilty, deserve to be treated like a human. Just like Mother Bernice said about the females. Males, females, anybody in detention needs to have humane conditions. Thank you.
Thank you. To follow up on what Reverend Blount is
Minister
saying,
Blount.
Minister Blount is
Unpaid, unbought.
okay. Those detention centers, areas that are not air conditioned, what are we doing for those areas? Are we at least bringing in some portable air conditioners, or, I mean, what are we doing to address that?
Through the chair, I just text DC Bliss to see if he had anything new about the air conditioner being out and what he's doing about it, so I'm waiting for a response. So I don't know
Okay.
offhand. I don't want to misspeak.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, sir.
We expect a response in 10 minutes.
Yes, before the meeting's over. Thank you. Next speaker.
Madam Chair?
Yes, oh, Commissioner.
I just wanted to say in regards to, thank you, Minister Blount, for being here today. I know your responsibilities to family are very heavy right now, so we appreciate your continued engagement. You know, what concerns me is how long it takes for body-worn camera footage to get out. And I'm going to continue to advocate that footage get released timely, because when situations happen, there's a narrative that goes out to the community and it's imprinted on everyone's conscience. And we've seen it happen multiple times. And then 6 months, 9 months, 2 years later, footage comes out and it's like, oh, that's not quite how it happened. And it's not right to, it's deceptive to the community to do that. And we need to get to the place where timely footage is released. I know that City Council's going through what they're going through with the ordinance. And we have here at the board a policy that I've requested multiple times to see, and look forward to seeing the policy that requires the release of body-worn camera footage in a certain amount of time. But this is a real problem, and I feel like it's the responsibility of this board to advocate for that type of transparency so that the public can see the footage unredacted as much as possible so that they can determine for themselves what has happened and not be succumbed to a narrative.
Thank you. Any other? Commissioner Bowman?
Yeah, I concur, and I can think of a very recent example where there was, and I don't think anyone intended to say anything incorrect, but the bottom line is, in the effort to, I guess, inform people quickly, to apprise commissioners ourselves of a situation that was going to be on the news, that was going to be, that perhaps we not be blindsided, or if we get a call from a reporter. But we had a scenario regarding the incident on Ross that turned out not being what happened. And I think sometimes releasing things or having the department come out with a public statement too quickly can be detrimental, because you end up getting something out there and then it has to be corrected. In this case, at least it was corrected as soon as I believe the chief found out. But then, you know, because there wasn't enough information to give an accurate report, and I think it's important that there be a little more caution on that.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, next speakers, please.
Mr. Charles Cousin, Ms. Michelle George, and former Commissioner William Davis.
Hello, board.
Hello.
Hello. Where I come from, your word is everything. 2 weeks ago, Chief Investigator Jerome Warfield sat here before this board and all of you, and he told me he was going to give me a call in regards to a complaint that I made months ago. But he didn't. I asked, who holds who accountable here? Whose rights are being protected and whose are being ignored? At this point, I feel like I'm wasting my time because all I wanted was a simple apology from the officer. Am I not deserving of respect and dignity? If this is happening to me, how many others are suffering in silence? What's the point of complaining if nothing's going to change? You probably get paid really well for your job. I don't get paid anything to be up here. Attitude makes a big difference. Respect is everything, and it's time that we start holding people accountable. I yield the rest of my time.
Thank you. Go ahead. Commissioner Morris and then Bowman.
Brother Cousins, I would like to say that, in my opinion, Chief Warfield is a great advocate for our citizens. He does a great job. If you've been following here recently, there have been a lot of interviews for them hiring staff. They've been short-staffed. They've been trying to get people to fill positions. We've been dealing with this CJIS. The board has been giving him tasks to submit documents and statements. So it's probably been a little bit overwhelming, but I can assure you myself that Chief Warfield is very great at what he does. And if he said he's going to take care of you, he'll take care of you. He'll get with you.
I feel you, but that's where the frustration of a lot of people come from. When people are told one thing and then another thing happens, and then these problems compound, because this raises from my house being set on fire, you know, and then, you know, I come in to talk to an officer about it and I get disrespected. And now, you know, I come to the board, I go to the library, I write out a complaint, you know, I take time out of my day, go to the 3rd precinct to file that complaint, and then I come here, and now I done digressed when, you know, all I was looking for is an apology and you know what I'm saying? And it's not a shot at him per se, but if I have a situation that affects me personally, I feel like this is the time to address it, so don't take it personal.
Yeah. No, through the chair. Chief Warfield, on average, on a yearly basis, here recently, the last few years, about how many complaints does your office receive that you have to handle?
You say like 30 to 40 a week. You said that like a month ago. Yeah.
So
and that's fine and all, but it's been months.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? And you can't tell me something and then expect me to be like, oh, okay, all right, you just play in my face and lie to me. You know what I'm saying?
Sir,
tell me something else then.
Okay, sir, let's hear from him, and then Commissioner Bowman. Go ahead.
Through the chair, first of all, Mr. Cousins, I apologize. You're 100% right. I was supposed to give you a call back and I did not. And that is all on me, regardless of what's on my plate, what's on my schedule. I told you I was going to do that, and I did not. So from the bottom of my heart, I apologize to you. But I promise you this. I accept your apology. I promise you this, because we're not working tomorrow. But first thing on Monday morning, I will give you a call. As a matter of fact, I'll give you my desk number to call me if you don't hear from me by 9 o'clock a.m. on Monday morning, and we'll get you all the updates that you need concerning your case. But again, I apologize.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Bowman?
I was only wanting to ask that we give Commissioner Chief Investigator, Warfield, a chance to
Okay.
respond, and he has had that.
I did see his hand. I was just going in order. All right, any other comments? Hearing none, then next speaker.
Good evening to the board, to the chair.
Good
and this-
evening.
Thank you to this honorable board. First of all, this young lady, we're going to be praying for her. That's spiritual warfare right there. I get concerned when, she's pleading for her life, and it kind of reminds me of the story of Henry Ford when that employee was pleading for her life and we saw what happened. It kind of reminded me of what happened with the DPD officers in February 2023, that murder-suicide. So I'm hoping, I would ask the Deputy Chief, hello Deputy Chief, that you kind of do an assessment, because I'm kind of concerned, even maybe some of your female officers are being abused. So, and I'm speaking at the University of Chicago next month about violence, especially with intimate partner violence. So I hope that be done, but we're going to be putting our arms around her in a spiritual warfare that no harm comes to her. Because she was basically, to me, I was trembling, saying like, if I die, telling my children, but that should not happen. He needs to go. Also, I'm going to say, I want to comment on an article, Detroit Police Oversight Board stripped of direct access to body cam footage. And I hope this is not the case. We were talking about on the radio, keeping it real yesterday, what's happening to oversight boards across this country. So we're just hoping as a community that not happen. We know under this Trump administration there's a lot going on. And so Coleman Young put this in place, and we expect that this not happen, because I know it stresses the chief investigator and his investigators that police not do edit their own video. And with that being said, I'm going to segue into that. It was a situation where a person was sweeping in front of a church, and it was shared by a former DPD officer and a judge that he was sweeping, and these officers just came up to him. And my thing is, shouldn't they have enough to do with this violence? But the Lord showed a spiritual video that we were able to see that they could not didact or edit or anything like that. So I would like to know what's going to happen to those officers. And I'm kind of concerned about this union that is allowing this corruption. DPD have fine officers. I know a lot of them. But I'm kind of concerned what's happening when that car pulled up. We're talking to the man sweeping. The church had to come out. But see, but if it was a video, I believe they would have edited that video. But God showed the video. We all saw it. So I would like to know what is going to happen to those officers. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Oh, Madam Chair.
Oh, Commissioner,
I thought we were going to address some of her questions. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
So I just wanted to confirm. Thank you so much, Nurse Michelle George, for coming and always being engaged. So one, that is correct, unfortunately, that the board has been stripped of its direct access to body-worn camera footage and the reports needed to conduct their investigations. We have a public statement that the board is considering later today to provide in writing to the community what has happened with that, and hopefully we'll get approval for that to go out so that there's a clear message to the community on where we are with that issue. But thank you for your concern. And then also, Madam Chair, to the chief, I am also interested in the situation where the gentleman was sweeping in front of the church. Is it possible for us to get an update on what was the context for that man being approached in the first place? I had heard that, after he was approached, there may have been some information that allowed the officers to take whatever action they took. But what was the pretext for the Terry stop in the first place? Why was he disturbed at all?
Through the chair, I don't have that information for you, but I can definitely get it to you tomorrow. Even though we're off tomorrow, I will make sure that the board gets it. Miss, you working tomorrow, Ms. Gardner? Okay. And the pretense and where the case investigation stands now. I'm sure internal probably has it, but I don't want to misspeak. I don't want to tell the board anything that's not true. So before I give you I think answer, I want to give you I know answer. So when I find out what's going on, I would ensure that Ms. Gardner gets it and she will get it to you guys.
Thank you, through the chair.
Okay. Commissioner Watts.
Just real quickly, I just wanted to comment and thank you so much. I know we had a conversation last night at an event, but I want to just publicly always thank you for your advocacy and what you do and when you come here every week for everyone and everything you do. I know you have a busy schedule. I know you're traveling around the state and outside of the state, but thank you so much for your passion. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm pleased that we have, we're going to have an appointed and an elected leadership, because I think far too often it's best if we have an elected person in the mix, because far too often it's been too many times where it's just been two appointees. And don't get me wrong, I don't have anything against appointees. Well, I also
Look at Woods.
well, you know, I also, you know,
man.
also, you know, I think that this board would be better served if it had its own attorney. When I first got elected, and you know, from 18 to 2022, you know, when I first got elected, we had our own personal attorney, and because it's hard for someone to serve two masters, especially if one master can fire him. You know, so I think it would be best to go back. And I definitely don't have nothing against Conrad Mallett Jr. You know, I knew his dad quite well. You know, me and his dad was friends. In fact, he was one of the ones that helped to encourage me to be more politically active when he was a commissioner. You know, and you know, him and Arthur Carter. Maybe I may have heard of his name too. But way back when, this is back in the '70s. I know some of y'all wasn't born then. But
71.
See, barely. So, you know, so I think it'd be good for us to explore the possibility of getting the board go back to having an attorney, because we could see a conflict. We could see a conflict, and there shouldn't be a conflict. So y'all just have a good day.
Okay, Commissioner Woods.
Yes. As it relates to, and you can have a seat. I don't know how to
Okay,
address
young man.
it. As it relates to the
That's your Zoom caller, y'all.
as it relates to the attorney aspect of things, we have the Chief Justice, a former Chief Justice of the Michigan Supreme Court, that's advising us. And most of the time it's not a conflict. He's given us recommendations on whether we have the ability to suspend officers without pay. He has given us counsel on major issues. And he just stated out his own mouth that when conflicts does arise, you know, we do have the ability to seek out outside counsel. And I think those dollars are better preserved for situations like that, because the fact of the matter is that we really cannot afford a good lawyer on the budget that we have. Just to be truthful and honest with you folks. We're not looking to file ineffective assistance of counsel on the lawyer, you know, because the budget is just don't measure up for a quality lawyer. You know, you know, when you talk about $80,000 for a full-time lawyer, you know, that's not good dollars. You know, but when conflicts does arise, we have the ability to be able to seek outside counsel, and which we would exercise, because our goal is to protect the interests of the citizens of the city of Detroit. And so I just say we don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, because the counsel that we have been getting from the former Chief Justice has been sound advice, you know, and sound guidance. You know, again, when conflicts occur, we have that ability to use some of those dollars for that.
No, okay. Next speaker, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We'll now go into Zoom. We have 5 speakers on Zoom. Our first speaker will be Joanne Warwick, followed by legendary Detroiter.
Hello?
Next speaker, go ahead.
Can I be heard?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Well, I agree with the people. I think you should have a different council because Mr. Corporation Counsel, one of his duties is to uphold the charter, and we don't have a fully functioning health department like we're supposed to on Charter Section 7-201. He's also perversely interpreting the charter to take people's private property for solar farms for basically DTE to get renewable energy credits, some more Biden bucks. But anyway, and also when they want, they hire attorneys like David Fink, he's probably at least $300 an hour. Zausmer Law, $300 an hour, maybe $400. I think Zausmer's $300. But anyway, they're rolling over people left and right, defaulting. It's just quite disgusting. For those of you who don't know. But could have done solar another way. There was a big solar fire in LA. Oh, not a good idea to put it in residential neighborhoods. Anyway, I've come here repeatedly before to ask about the abuse I suffered at the Detroit Detention Center and how I was shoved into a solitary cell and forcibly stripped to put on a Bam Bam suit, even though I wasn't properly screened for suicidal or homicidal ideations. I also wrote Police Chief Bettison and Commander Fulgensi about I was harassed, abused, and battered by some allied security guards. Then Officer Jay Jackson, badge 549, came in, was trying to tell me to leave, didn't know the building was still open. Then R. Knox, badge S-329, had a little more sense, listened to me, and the building part where I wanted to go was open, and I'd like that investigated. What about the abuse at the detention center? How many other people are getting stripped and
Madam Chair?
Go ahead.
Do you know if OCI has processed a citizen complaint in regards to what was just shared about the experience at DDC?
I'll check the system right now.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Legendary Detroiter, can you unmute?
Yeah, I'm unmuted. And Comrade Mallett Jr. was sitting right beside Janice M. Winfrey, Detroit City Clerk and Chairperson of the Detroit Election Commission, in his capacity as a member of the Detroit Election Commission when she lied about the findings on the allegations of voter fraud by anonymous citizen report on April 25th, 2024, is a conflict of interest with Comrade Mallett Jr. serving the city of Detroit, the Board of Police Commissioners, and in his official capacity as General Corporation Counsel for the city of Detroit. His law license is now in jeopardy. He has signed a letter where Janice Winfrey, the person that I exposed as lying, said that she was in fear of her life. Now, I'm who I am. I make no bones about it to nobody. Comrade is a crook, a crooked lawyer here in the city of Detroit, Michigan. Now, the election fraud is real. Right now, there are affidavits in federal court from John Fitzgerald Kennedy III, an affidavit that says he has never ever registered to vote nor voted or participated in any election whatsoever. Comrade knows about it. They're doing underhanded things to keep the information from reaching the public. But like I said, I'm Black Bag and Young Blood from the Brewster Projects. I'm 58 years old now. I'm not 13 anymore. Comrade Mallett has got to go from representing the board of Detroit Police Commissioners Board and the city of Detroit as Corporation Counsel.
Next speaker, please.
Our next two speakers will be Ms. Tara Brown and Joanna.
evening, Commission. This is Tara Brown. I just wanted to say, I took a look at the ethics ordinance and the BOPC bylaws and the city charter, and I'm trying to get, I guess, a clarification or idea of what the conflict of interest with Darius Morris suing the city and the Detroit Police Department and specific officers would be. I couldn't find anything, but I'm not an attorney, so hopefully council can give us insight on that. Also, can somebody give us insight on what's going on with Lori Pierce? Like, we saw what we saw in the media, but what is going on with this whistleblower lawsuit? How long has this been going on, and what are the specific details? I am going to take a leave from what my comment was to speak on Ms. Jackson. I had a chance to speak to Ms. Jackson after the last meeting, and although she brought a picture of Officer Dawson, I really wish she would have brought the pictures of the assault that she suffered after her encounter with Mr. Dawson. I mean, this was a relationship where she was suffering abuse. Then he painted himself as the victim and then violated a restraining order that he tried to get against her. Well, he did get against her and then violated it. This is an ongoing problem with Detroit police being able to abuse women and then paint themselves as victims. And no, I don't think we should be paying him as taxpayers while he's off. I do think he needs medical insurance because he needs some medical attention. Somebody needs to require, if you all are going to allow him to keep his job, he needs to be required to seek a therapist. And I want you all to go online and go to Google and actually take a look at the women who have been killed and abused by Detroit police officers. And I get the whole all Detroit police officers are not bad, but I definitely want to echo what was said by Ms. Mother Bernice when she stood up. All of what she said was true. It was accurate. There should be no discussion about whether or not he's going to lose his job because based on the public record, he was a problem before he even got the job. Driving with suspended license, all sorts of other stuff. Get him off the police force. If you all want us to start trusting you, you all got to make decisions that we can trust. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Good evening. Definitely support everything Ms. Brown just said. Okay, son, thank you. I have a concern that I would like to bring to the board, to all commissioners. When it comes to voting, is there any way that the public, especially when its seats are being removed, is there any way that the public, the people ourselves, can have some kind of input into that vote, just so it can be fair to everyone, and then we know what we want and what we want to see from you all? So I would just like some input on the vote or just the people in general. Madam Chair, can that be done? Through the chair to the Madam Chair.
No, not to my knowledge. This is a board meeting, and only the board members are authorized to vote on any matters that are brought up for a vote.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Then my next concern is for Littlefield Eaton Block Club Street. We come a long way keeping the street clean. It took a lot to get the neighbors out to do so, and we're actually doing that very thing. But now that we're keeping the street clean, we're having problems with like drug addicts, alcoholics, parking in these spots that we took the time to clean for beautification and past year. If we can get some kind of police patrol just coming by to making sure that, you know, it's safe for us to come out, the kids to come out, and not have these people just parking in these areas that they don't even live on the street, drinking, throwing the things out on the ground. And that will be it for me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
That's my district. So thank you for calling in, Ms. Joanna. We'll have a discussion with the second precinct MPOs about patrol over there. Thank you.
Any other comments? All right, next speaker, please.
Our last speaker is Mr. Smith.
Good afternoon, may I be heard?
Yes.
So I wanted to talk about Officer Deion Dawson. I've been talking about Officer Dawson for months, since last October, I believe. And I feel like as of late, there's been a little bit of fake outrage because I've talked about this officer. I realized he had 50 complaints on him before as I was making my comments and my complaints about him. Personally, he's done nothing to me, but to see him abuse a black woman is very ridiculous. Me having to serve him that PPO that he violated, while even the victim being at the second precinct, is ridiculous. Also, when it comes down to Corporation Counsel, there is a very, very, very big conflict of interest when it comes to him. Also, Chief Warfield seems to be very diligent about responding to concerns and complaints. I file probably more complaints than most people who ever call in, and me and Chief Warfield have had a great relationship throughout these complaints that I filed. But it's really sad to see that I have to pay a person's salary who's abusing women, who is abusing children, who's using marijuana. And I've asked several times over for any commissioner to pull Officer Deion Dawson's disciplinary history. I've asked it several times. I want to go through the records and I want to look and see how many times I've asked to pull that record. Also, when it comes down to the Corporation Council overstepping and trying to remove an elected commissioner, Commissioner Morris, from his position, there's nothing in the Detroit City Charter. There's nothing in the Board of Police Commissioners bylaws. I don't believe there's anything in the state law. And I'm going to have the last attorney who called in, her name was Joanne Warwick. She is an attorney. I'm going to have her look through it. I know Ms. Brown has looked through it. I'm going to look through it as well. But you overstepping your boundaries. Corporation Council is the reason why there is a conflict of interest. You are usurping the power of the board. You're using your status as a former Supreme Court Justice and Corporation Counsel to not only usurp the power of this board, but also the Board of Ethics, which is really ridiculous. But if officers lie on anybody, whether civilian or elected official, they need to be held accountable in the court of law, and that is anybody's exercise rights.
Through the chair.
Yes, Commissioner Moore.
I want to say I appreciate Jadante's comment. I'm happy to represent the people. I'll continue to represent the people as long as, God allows me to. And I'm going to exhaust all remedies to make sure that I'm still able to do it. And even in the next election, I'm going to run. So this is a lifelong commitment. When you really fight, it comes with a price. When you really fight and when you don't sell out and when you don't do backroom deals, and regardless of what underhanded things that are taking place, I'm going to still continue to fight and I'm going to still continue to do what's right. So thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair?
Yes, Commissioner Camille.
Chief Investigator did check and indicated that there is not a citizen complaint in for the caller. I didn't even catch her name, but if the staff can somehow get back to her, or I just want to get her in touch with OCI to file a complaint about her experience at the DDC.
All right. Do we, go ahead, Commissioner.
Yeah, we have her information. We'll,
OCI.
through the chair, I'm sorry, we have her information and we'll get with her.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Any other comments? Okay, that closes the, that was the last speaker?
There is one more person.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
At the last moment. This is the last speaker.
Okay, go ahead.
Ms. Lyles. Can you unmute?
Good afternoon, esteemed board. My name is Denise Lyles. I happen to sit on the Board of Ethics, and I have to echo this gentleman's comments about how important it is for an oversight committee to have their own representation, to have an attorney that can work on their behalf and not the behalf of someone that could be placing a complaint or have a complaint placed against them. I understand. I know you guys are fighting the same fight we are, and it is. I just don't understand, and I can't fathom why this is not clear to so many others. How can we regulate something when the complaintee regulates what we say? I want to take this time to also thank our commission, District 5's commissioner, for always listening and having a listening ear when we complain, fuss, and just gripe about things. Thank you, Commissioner Watts. We appreciate you. And I yield my time. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We're going to go next to our... Somebody want to... Okay. Next on our agenda, we have a presentation to the board, and it's going to be the Department of Innovation and Technology.
They got baptized today.
Welcome.
Thank you. Through the chair, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Art Thompson. I am the Chief Information Officer for the City of Detroit.
Hello, my name is Tamara Fett. I'm the Enterprise Applications Manager within the Department of Innovation and Technology.
Thank you.
And so we are here today. Recently, the federal government changed some regulation in regards to ADA compliance and how our website is accessible to make sure that people with disabilities are able to access and navigate through resources and content posted by the city. So Tamara, I'll turn it over to you to give an overview.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much. There are 3 departments under the enterprise applications that I manage. One is the GIS, with folks who make your maps. The other is enterprise applications, folks who help you get direct deposit. And the other one is the web team. And that's what we're here to talk to you about today, is the web team. We have been so first, what is the ADA? A lot of folks know what the ADA is. You know, it's making sure that we have the sidewalk ramps and all that kind of things. Well, there's also ADA for the website. And in 2024, the federal government implemented some rules around ADA compliance for websites. So that enables, and the purpose of it is so that folks who have whether they have cognitive disabilities or whether they have visual disabilities, any kind of disabilities can actually access city government, well, in our case, city government services. And so what happens is, if you go on your phone, or if you're using your phone, 70% of the folks who come to our website are using their phones. They have screen readers. And so if I remember watching 60 Minutes and Stevie Wonder was using an iPhone. I was like, how does he do that? Well, it has screen readers for people who are visually impaired. And what it does is there's codes in websites that allow for the screen reader to say, this is the City of Detroit, this is the Police Board of Commissioners, accountability through civil oversight. I'm reading your sign down there. It goes through through these tags, and it does that. So we have to be compliant. When is that compliant date? Next year. April 26th of 2027. So what we've been doing since 2024, we've gotten the website. We did a redesign of the website last year. We've gone through the biggest push right now that we're going to be talking about are the documents, because that's our biggest hindrance. Well, I'm sorry, our biggest challenge that we can meet. And so one of the things that has to happen is those documents, and I've got my notes, so I'm going to peek down at my notes a little bit. What we've done is, one, there's a couple things. To ensure compliance on the new regulations, because we have a year, now it's 10 months, but we have a year to come in compliance. All content editors.
Through the chair, if you can talk through the mic more clearly so we can be ADA compliant.
Yes, you can. Very nicely done. My apologies. That is, I can hear myself.
Yeah.
All content editors are required to ensure that the documents that they are uploaded, and documents being defined as PDFs, PowerPoints, Excel documents, any kind of document that is uploaded to the website is ADA compliant. And so what we've done is, we as the web team have removed the ability for just all the content editors to upload documents. Instead, they come through the web team, and those documents have to be ADA compliant. Now, technically, the rule doesn't go into place until next year, but it's a good rule. It's not a bad thing to be accessible to our residents. And so one of the things that we're asking is, and we're helping with, is, and I was with one of the departments today, and I said, we all use templates. All of our agendas, they're all using templates. Make sure your template is compliant. I ran through it real quick with them. The only thing you had to do was City of Detroit logo, and it was compliant. We just need to get through that over the next course of the next year, so that by the time the regulation hit, we're already compliant, because we've been doing it for a year. The process for the staff, your content editors for the Board of Police Commissioners, is to send an email to service desk and this hasn't changed. It's always been servicedesk@detroitmi.gov with the information. If it is an urgent request, we do ask that just CC me and the web team supervisor, Edgar Montes, and we'll make sure that if it needs to get up within hours or something like that, we will get it up expeditiously. So, creating those documents. Each department, because the web team and Department of Innovation and Technology, we're not one of the big giant departments. Each one of the departments you guys are the subject matter experts. You are the content creators. And so each one of the departments is responsible for their own ADA compliance. We are absolutely going to help you. We're going to give you resources. We are walking through processes. There was one department that said it has to be to PDF in order to comply with such and such statute. And we looked at it and we said, well, actually, you can just make it out of content. Oh. And it was really simple and easy. And that's what we're really encouraging people to do. Your board agenda for today was created as a web page content. There are so many benefits to that. One, it's automatically translated into the different languages, Bengali, Arabic, and Spanish, as well as English. As soon as it's created on the website, there's no need for any kind of translation, and it's already compliant, as well as the search engines find it quicker. One of the things that we did when we redesigned the website last year, we went into the community and we handed folks cell phones and said, can you please pay your water bill, whatever. People go to Google before they come to our website. If your website is indexed with Google, which if it's content on the site, it will index a lot quicker. It'll be found by residents. So we encourage that. Oh, and the other thing is what happens with old documents. So the rule goes into effect April 26, 2027. The rule says anything prior to the rule is archived. It's grandfathered in, isn't applicable. We want those documents because people want to be able to access those. It's a good rule to have. And so we are asking folks, don't say, oh, we're just going to wait until next year. No, do it now so that as you're creating these documents, they are accessible to our visually impaired and our disabled community. But technically, they're grandfathered in. Now, why is this? What's the benefit to our visitors, to our residents? Well, one, it's equitable access to public services. If someone can use their cell phone and come to the Board of Police Commissioners website and it reads the agenda to them, they're able to participate. If it reads the information to them, they're able to participate. They don't have, whether they are visually impaired or whether they're cognitively impaired. We know the literacy rate in the city of Detroit is high. Having the website read it to you is a benefit for the residents of the city of Detroit. Oh, and the other added benefit of creating the content is the translation and the automatic translation as well as the SEO, the search engine optimization. Sorry, I'm using nerd terms. So I had a fun fact for you. Detroit People Mover, when it was created, which I love the People Mover, was created in '87 before ADA. After the ADA, it had to get a whole bunch of renovations done. It is now, and I learned this when we were going through this process, it is now one of the most accessible public transportation trains in the Midwest. So it's a good thing, and Detroit can do that. Any questions?
Are there any questions? Go ahead, Commissioner Bowman.
Yes, actually a couple, but I'll try to,
Go ahead.
Pile them together real quick. First of all, I just heard the terminology making something content instead of a PDF. Are you referring to like having it in HTML5?
Yes.
Okay.
So, yes, when I say content, sorry, through the chair.
Yes.
When I'm saying content, we have, throughout the city of Detroit, The way the web team works, there's a 4-person web team, very small team, and we have over 200 content editors. And those are the subject matter experts. You have content editors for the Board of Police Commissioners, HRD has them, DPD has them, all the different departments, boards and commissions, city clerk, city council, have their own content editors. So when I say creating that content, it's those content editors going onto the website, and essentially they're probably taking it from Word, but they could physically type it onto the website as well, and that creates a web page within that web page template, and that's creating the HTML. They don't have to be developers. The website will create it for them.
Okay, and thank you. And another matter was, I think where the concern first arose was regarding what you're now telling us are documents that are grandfathered in. That apparently, and I haven't actually checked this myself, I'm going on what other people have said just because of lack of time, but that they were looking for documents that were previously available and not being able to find those documents at all, which would tell me that it wouldn't be necessary to remove those because they're grandfathered in. So I'm not quite sure why that's happening, if it's happening, and if it isn't happening, why do you think people are running into that experience?
So 2 things. One, with this that Art and I are talking about, we are not removing any documents. The web team, that's not part of our purview. The Board of Police Commissioners, the police department, the web content editors are the owners of that content. We are not the owners, we're the stewards of that. What the content editors do have the ability to do, and I believe I was in a policy subcommittee meeting, and I believe there was a young woman who was talking about this issue that you were referring to. Content editors have the ability on the website to move, like, for example, if there was a button, and the button went to, and I believe it was a manual, and the button went to the manual, and someone says, oh, I don't like the button. Instead, I'm going to put the link within text. And that's, I believe, what happened. Someone put the link within text, so now you have to read the sentence and click here to go to that manual. The button was more effective. So hearing back from folks saying, now I can't find it, well, you probably need to put that button back. But again, that's the content editors that do that, not the Department of Innovation and Technology. We give you the tools, but those folks, the content editors, are the subject matter experts.
Okay. And finally, I do notice you're mentioning being able to find things online. I understand what search engine optimization is, but also that there is what I found often. I'll be looking for something, and Google at least will find the PDFs before finding the HTML5 content that would have the same information in it. And which kind of surprised me because I'd been hearing that PDFs were less accessible. Does this have anything to do with whether or not they're searchable versus non-searchable PDFs?
Yes. As well as the length of time they've been on the website, the freshness of that content. Is the content in sorry, I'm mixing up terms. The text that's in that PDF, is that more applicable than the text that's on that page? So yes, the search engines like Google can absolutely find PDFs. When the content is on an HTML page, however, it finds it faster, and it finds it more complete and can essentially give a more complete picture than on that PDF, because sometimes PDFs aren't as searchable. So yes.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you. All right. Does that conclude your presentation?
It does.
Okay, thank you.
And please let us
We
know if you ever
appreciate
need
it.
anything.
We appreciate it, and there may be questions even after that we might submit to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next, we're going to have the secretary give her report.
Madam Chair, through the chair, the report for today is found yet again under tab 6. The items under that tab are listed on your agenda. Also, the announcements for the day, the board meeting next week is here at Public Safety Headquarters at 3 p.m. and the July community meeting will be held Thursday, July 9th, 6:30 p.m. in the 6th Precinct, and it will be held at Greater Burnett Church, located at 16801 Schoolcraft, Detroit 48227. Also, hopefully, the presentation by Do It has helped some, and if there are additional questions, we meet at least weekly with that team very closely. So if there are some additional questions, please forward them directly to me so that the team members who are working directly with this effort can forward them on to Do It and work with it during our weekly meetings. And of course, we will be giving updates periodically if things are changing with our documents and postings, et cetera. I believe that concludes. There are no committee meetings next week. I think everybody knows tomorrow is a city holiday, but I will be accessible, as DC Pritchett said, by telephone. And that concludes the report, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Any questions?
Madam Chair, I have a couple
ahead,
questions for
Commissioner.
staff. So first is the CJIS presentation from DPD, which I requested months ago and received a commitment that it was going to be happening by today. So when is that happening?
Madam Chair, through the chair, I did have a very brief conversation today with DPD Grant Haw, and hopefully I can speak with corporate counsel immediately after this meeting to understand and exactly what is expected to be presented for the presentation. I know DPD Haw is a second deputy chief Haw. We need to drill down, and that's why I need to have some additional conversation with corporate counsel to understand exactly what the board is expecting with that presentation. As we know, there has been much discussion in closed sessions and briefings, and so there needs to be some clarity on what needs to be presented. Speaking of presentations, we are working feverishly to have presented next week the presentation on unmanned vehicles, a presentation that's been being worked on by DPD and your staff, BOPC staff, to have it on the agenda. And we're hopeful that that will happen. It will happen. I had conversation with Commander Russell immediately before coming downstairs. It will happen next week.
I guess, Madam Secretary, what the question is this has been a priority, the CJIS presentation, for weeks, and that should be the next presentation, as far as I'm concerned, since we have been, especially Commissioner Camille, has asked about this every week.
Madam Chair, we are aware, in fact, today the BOPC staff did review back the ask for the presentation, as well as looked at many of the briefings, and I think corporate counsel may want to speak to this, so that, again, the details on what DPD and/or the BOPC staff, we need clarity on the expectation of what needs to be presented. Corporate counsel, please.
Go ahead. Would you care to?
Yeah, through the chair, Commissioner Camille, I don't know why I would know. What was the nature of the request that you wanted us to present when you said that you want a presentation on CJIS?
Madam Chair?
Go ahead, Commissioner.
Thank you for that. No, I wouldn't expect you to know exactly corporation counsel So what I was looking for is really doesn't have anything to do directly with the concerns about OCI's removal of access, but to just explain to the public and to us what CGIS is, like from a fundamental perspective. What does it stand for? Who controls it? Who creates it? What's the intent of it? How much control does it have over agencies? You know, this is something that allegedly is driving us removing our access. I think it's important that we all understand what this thing is and how much control it has over the decisions that are being made in Detroit. That's what I was looking for. I don't know if other commissioners want additional content on it, but that's what I was hoping for when I made this request months ago.
Commissioner Bowman?
Yeah. As has been acknowledged here, the commissioners had a number of briefings or meetings. Again, briefing would actually be a better description of it since it wasn't one of our public meetings. Briefings regarding the rationale as to how CGIS, which has been around for a long time, ends up through a series of events here, of some connected information that I'm not going to repeat because it's in these private meetings, leads to us being in the situation where we are not getting direct access, or where OCI specifically is not getting direct access to the body-worn camera footage. And I would like, unless there's reasons given why certain things cannot be publicly disclosed, I would like the public to have as much of an understanding, to the degree that we understand it, which there is, I think it's still confusing to some of us, how these things are connected. And because effectively that would save us the concern of accidentally saying things that we're not supposed to say because, that came out of a briefing where it was all supposed to be confidential. To have that essentially pre-agreed that, hey, okay, we can say this to the public about it. And then when we hear what's said to the public, we know, hey, now we can repeat that, and it's no longer going to be an issue of, I'm accidentally disclosing something or incidentally disclosing something that I wasn't supposed to disclose.
So, through the chair, Madam Chair, and Commissioner Camille, can I beg your indulgence? Grant High and I have to get together. I can't have it by next week. We got a lot going on. Can I have 2 weeks to bring this to you so that we can? Because what you're asking for is not difficult. You want a fundamental understanding of what CGIS is. We can provide that. I don't know what Grant has available immediately. If I've got to, if this has got to be pulled together by the law department from scratch, then it's going to take more than next Thursday.
Okay, so we're looking at 2 weeks then? Is that what you're saying?
That's what I like. Yes, ma'am. Push it back a week.
2 weeks. Commissioner Camille?
I do have a couple more questions for staff.
Okay.
If that's okay. I did make a request, Madam Secretary, for the committee meetings to be posted on YouTube. Do you have a status on when those will start to be posted?
Chair, through the chair, I believe staff did give a response on the YouTube, though the committee meetings are not posted there, but we will review that again. There are a lot of details with media services. Ms. Blossom, she could probably say it much more concise than me, but the committee meetings, my understanding, have not been on YouTube, and there's really no plan to place them there. Ms. Blossom, please.
Through the chair, Teresa Blossom, Police Community Relations Coordinator. We have periodically made the request for committee meetings to be posted to YouTube. It is a capacity for media services. They've made the commitment to the weekly meeting, and you may note that we sometimes have challenges getting the weekly meeting posted as timely as possible. We don't want to overburden that commitment of them getting the weekly meeting up. So we will continue to work with them and to make that request as their resources for that improve. But currently we make them the Zoom video available at the website through direct links to Zoom video so that there's no editing that needs to be done. It's totally just, it goes off the city website to Zoom so that the city doesn't have to touch the video.
Madam Chair, so the last that I checked on our website, I couldn't find that document. I know the document you're referring to where the actual Zoom links are in there. I didn't see that in documents anymore, so we just want to make sure that that is being readily available and it's not getting buried somewhere where people can't get to it. I just want to make sure that the public can get to the committee meetings. There's significant work that's done there that results into decisions that get made here. And if for the public who's trying to follow the bouncing ball on how we're completing our work, the committee meetings are important. And I do have a concern, and I'll take it to my council member about the capacity of media services, because I know that was a discussion for them at budget in regards to media services having the capacity to fulfill the needs of all the different departments and boards across the city.
And through the chair, if I could address the question about the document that used to be at the website with the Zoom links. We took the opportunity during ADA compliance to turn that into web content so that it's immediately on the page and available for everyone.
Okay, you have another question, Commissioner?
My last question is actually the Corporation Council. So in April, I requested some guidance to the commissioners regarding confidential communications. So, and Commissioner Bowman touched on this a little bit in regards to what can we say, what can we not say. I mean, it's obvious for things like closed sessions. We know if we're in a closed session about something, we're not supposed to go talk about that. But for other types of communications, just some guidance on how we know what is absolutely like legally confidential compared to what's public information, and maybe things that are really designed to be internal but aren't legally confidential, so there's not really a harm if it's released. Do you have an update on, I know you had emailed back saying you were working on it.
So the, Commissioner Camille, the bottom line is, through the chair, is that you're exactly right. The distinction that you made between confidential versus internal. These are all, everything in this book is available through FOIA to the public. It is, however, these are, however, internal communications except for the agenda. So if someone wanted Ms. Garnier's secretary's report, they could get a FOIA and they could get it immediately. Is that the kind of information that we want distributed directly from the book to the public? That's going to be your decision. We will make sure that if it is confidential and to be strictly confidential, that it's marked that way. So this is a discretionary issue with you and with the rest of the board members. If it comes out of closed session, it is indeed confidential. If it's an internal document that is subject to FOIA, and 99.9% of them, unless there's an attorney-client thing, which will be marked by me as confidential and subject to attorney-client privilege. So after that, it's going to be purely discretionary. It's not going to be a strict rule. It really is what your professional determination is as to what you want to share with the public. 99% of the documents that get produced are available to the public. You just simply have to decide the vehicle. Are you going to pass them out at the various meetings that you intend? Is it that we want to have people go through a process through FOIA? These are individual discretionary decisions, Commissioner Camille, that have to be made on an individual basis.
Through the chair, if I
Yes.
can just clarify. So if it's confidential, it's going to be marked as confidential. And if it's not confidential, then it's up to our individual professional discretion.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Parliamentarian, did you want to?
Yes, I would like
Okay,
to
go ahead.
also respond. There is a difference from a parliamentary point of view between what is confidential in terms of what is said versus confidential in terms of what is written. So, for example, when the board goes into closed session because you want to consider the chief's recommendation that someone be suspended, there are no documents that are created except for the minutes, and the minutes do not and should not reflect what is said. So anyone subpoenaing who would issue a subpoena or a request, FOIA request, can get the minutes in a certain action of the closed session. That's different from a parliamentary point of view on what the commissioners discuss, because that's not in the minutes.
That's right.
And so the confidentiality of a closed session from a parliamentary point of view is that it is a violation to leave the meeting and say, well, Commissioner LaVish Williams said,
Right.
blah, 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 blah. I'm not at all disagreeing with what Corp Counsel said from the legal distinction of the ability for the public to get access to your documents. But that's a separate, clear distinction between the public having access to what was verbally discussed in closed session. So speaking strictly from a parliamentary point of view, when you go into closed session, what is said during that session is confidential, except what needs to be provided for the public. So for example, if in closed session you discuss disciplining a member of this board, obviously when you come out of closed session to take the vote, the result of that vote is public. But there is a distinction, what is said versus what is a document. And I don't want there to be confusion about that, because they're two separate issues. And I don't know, Corp Counsel, if...
No, I agree.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for that clarification. Now, wait, Commissioner Watts first.
Yes, Madam Chair.
Commissioner Bowman, do you still have your hand up?
That's what I'm
Okay,
trying to do.
Commissioner Watts and then Commissioner.
Thank you, Madam Chair. In the interest of time, I will forego the comments I had on a previous comment, because I do note that we have a closed session. And I do also note a couple of commissioners have to leave early who want to participate in that closed session. So, Madam Chair, I'll forego my comments.
Okay, go ahead, Commissioner Woods.
Madam Chair, I will, if we're not at that point in terms of as far as the unfinished business and anything that we need to vote on outside the closed session, I have to go before the closed session. But if we can vote on those things, I would like to make a motion. Those actionable items that need to be voted upon, that we can move that now.
Support.
Okay, a motion has been made to move the actionable items up on the agenda. Is there a second?
Yes, support.
It's been supported by moved by Commissioner Woods, supported by Commissioner Watts. Is there any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? The motion carries. So we're going to go to unfinished business then. There's a motion to subpoena records of communications regarding access to CGIS. Which, is there a commissioner who had that motion, or?
I had the motion.
Did you?
But, I mean, you stated the motion.
That's it?
That's the motion.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Okay, it's been moved by Commissioner Camille. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Ivey has seconded. Is there any discussion? Go ahead, Commissioner Woods.
Yep. I would say again, as the previous motion that was made, that this is a very dangerous motion. That in terms of subpoenaing anything from the FBI and all those type of things, and also subpoenaing you. I don't know. You said subpoenaing the commissioners work, subpoenaing the Detroit Police Department, subpoenaing the FBI, I would be totally against this particular motion. It's reckless.
Any other discussion? Commissioner Morris, and then Commissioner Bowman, you've had your hand up for a while.
Okay.
Go with you first.
Okay, thank you.
Morris.
Yeah, I support this motion because, and I want to be clear, this is not asking for all communication between these entities. I think that would be ridiculous, and I don't really see how it would be even humanly possible to begin to go through all that. This is purely as it concerns communication regarding CJIS and its effect on our access to certain, especially if its effect on OCI's access to certain information, such as direct access to body cam footage, but other things, why this is, what communications led to this, because this is something new, but the reasons for it are something that isn't new. In other words, there isn't a new law in the books about this. And so the fact that there has been a change in what we must do without any change in law is curious, and it is something that I think warrants a deep dive. Not saying anyone did anything wrong, but there's something's unclear here. And just to know what really happened, fully, I see value in that. And subpoenaing things potentially allows for some things to be disclosed that perhaps we haven't been able to talk about as well. Thank you.
Commissioner Morris.
Due to a pending legal matter and the subpoena may involve the City of Detroit's Law Department, I will recuse myself from any vote.
Okay. Please note that for the record, Madam Secretary. All right. Is there any other further?
Through the chair.
Go ahead, Commissioner Carter.
I think last week I wanted to get an opinion from the law department when I made the motion to postpone.
That was not communicated to me, Commissioner Carter.
So we have a motion. We're going to vote on it even though, is that correct, Madam Parliamentarian? Even though we did not get the law department review of the matter, correct? All right. All in
Chair.
favor? Go ahead.
I have a question here for discussion, and this is for Corporation Counsel. So this motion includes current and former DPD members. So that will also encompass anyone that would be, like all of the DPOA, LSA, and COA union officers, they're all part of the police department, right? There's no one that stands outside of the police department that would be included?
The unions are not a part of the police department. DPOA, those are separate legal entities.
Okay.
So if the motion, Commissioner Camille, is that you want to subpoena as it relates to CJIS, the entities responsible for the enforcement of the rule as interpreted to us by conversations with the Michigan State Police and with the FBI, then that's going to be the law department. That's going to be the executive team of DPD. DPOA and the command organization, were not ever a part of the process associated with CJIS. Now, does DPOA, perhaps through its union contract, have some impact on disclosure? Yes, but it's not CJIS. It's the union contract itself in terms of what gets disclosed and when. So if it's directly CJIS related, the unions just don't have a role.
Madam Chair, I'd like to amend the motion to include DPOA, LSA, and COA.
For what
Just
purpose?
In case they've had communications. We're trying to figure out the communications that have happened to lead to this. If there are none, then there won't be any that come back.
And at this point then, Madam Chairperson, Commissioner Camille, I don't think the board has jurisdiction to subpoena the DPO.
It's an outside entity, so I wouldn't understand how that.
So I would guess if we could actually understand the motion, then have it voted on, then if it stands, then Madam Chairperson, I would like the opportunity to follow through on the request of Commissioner Carter. Because off the top of my head, with no research, I don't see how the Board of Police Commissioners can serve a subpoena on the DPOA, serve a subpoena on the command organization. You can serve a subpoena on the city of Detroit. You can serve a subpoena on the police department. If you really don't believe, Commissioner Camille, that the records you requested you've got access to, is there any indication at all that you don't think that you've been given everything that you need in terms of the decision making that you have to make? Is there some doubt that there are documents out there that you have not seen or conversations that have not been shared? I mean, I don't care, because I know that I've given you everything, and so it's a non-issue. But at the same time, let me just stop there and say that I like the opportunity, if it passes, to review whether or not the board has jurisdiction for outside entities.
Okay.
Through the chair,
Okay, I'm going to call for the question. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed?
No.
Nay. Do I have to take a?
The motion, calling for the question is a motion. It must be seconded. It's non-debatable. So, and you have to vote on whether the question wants to be called.
She said she
The chair cannot by herself in debate.
Okay.
Through the chair, since we're still in debate, I would like to respond to one of the questions that Corporation Counsel asked me in regards to if there's any doubt.
Call for the question. Motion to call for the question.
Madam Chair, the
Yes.
motion to call for the question is not an interrupting motion. Any commissioner who makes that motion must be recognized. So if
Through the chair, I'm asking to
when
be
the
recognized.
chair said, I call for the question, and then took a vote, was that vote on calling for the question, or was that the vote on the issue that's on the agenda?
Okay, I understand what you're saying now. So how do we call for the question without me saying it?
It's not an interrupting motion, so you would recognize someone like Commissioner Woods.
Okay.
Then it has to be seconded.
Oh, okay.
It's non-debatable, and then the commissioners then vote on whether they want to call for the question. It requires 2/3 to be adopted.
Okay.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
thank you for
Wait.
giving me the floor.
Commissioner Woods had his hand up. Go ahead.
I made a motion to call for the question.
Point of order.
Go ahead.
I believe Commissioner Camille was already recognized when Commissioner Woods made his motion. And so based upon what I've heard from the parliamentarian, I believe that means that we need to let Commissioner Camille
I was
first,
recognized. Thank
and
you.
then Commissioner Woods.
Go ahead, Commissioner Camille.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So through the chair to Corporation Counsel, no, there is no doubt that you've provided us everything that you have had regarding this, neither the chief as well. I trust that you all both have done that. However, you all don't have control over anyone else in the department or in the law department other than yourselves. And so that's the request. It's not a doubt in your ability or transparency or the chief's. Just recognizing that there are multiple people involved and everyone has access to send an email out or communication anywhere they would like to.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
Parliamentarian needs to make another observation. Even though Commissioner Morris has recused himself,
the motion that requires 2/3 is 2/3 of the membership. And if that motion is 2/3 of the membership, then the fact that he recused himself is not.
Count as the 2/3?
No, it does count.
Oh.
It's still 2/3 of 10 rather than 2/3 of 9. And that's important because 7 would be required versus 6.
Okay, let's just
Okay. So can I ask people to vote now, or do I have to have a motion for that?
The motion to call the question, when you recognize Commissioner Woods, must be seconded. No debate. All those in favor of stopping debate on the pending motion, I would have them raise their hands. And as long as we get at least 7 people, we're fine.
Okay. A motion has been made to call for the question. Is there a second? By Commissioner Woods, is there a second?
Second.
It's been seconded by Commissioner Camille. All in favor indicate by raising your hand.
You've got 8.
Okay, we have 8. Those opposed? Motion carries. So now I can call for the question on the motion?
Yes, you go directly into.
Directly to the motion.
Vote. No more debate.
Okay, so the motion, again, is to subpoena records of communications regarding access to CJIS.
Can
All-
you list out the organizations that are supposed to be subpoenaed, please? Who is the subpoena going to, Madam Chair?
It doesn't say in the motion.
It said in the motion last week.
Well, that's why I asked what the motion
Want me
was.
to list them?
Said this was it. So this is what I'm reading. So if you need to add that, let's do it now.
Okay, I can add that now. So,
Unfortunately, has to tell you that the motion to call the previous question means there's no more debate
Oh, that's right.
on that motion. Now, if the commission, after the motion is adopted, wishes to add some clarification, there's no problem with that. But right now, the only thing the board can do is vote on adoption of this motion. That's all you can do. You just
Okay.
end the debate.
All those in favor indicate by raising your hand. All right, we have 2. All those opposed, raise your hand.
Motion failed.
The motion
Fails.
fails. All right. Thank you. Our next item that we're going to bring forward on the agenda is the BOPC public statement regarding access to criminal justice information services, which is CJIS. So is there a second to that motion?
I'll second it.
I'm sorry, we need a first because I can't make the motion.
so moved.
So moved by Commissioner Camille.
And make a motion.
I
Second.
can? Okay.
And seconded by Commissioner Bowman.
Seconded by Commissioner Bowman. Is there discussion?
What is it?
Go ahead.
What is the public statement? Where is it at?
We presented it at a previous meeting, correct?
Right, and I don't
The
see it.
chief investigator, through the chair, provided it to the board. It was in our packets last week, and
It was.
it's in our packets this week, too.
Yes.
It wasn't requested to be postponed. This was the original plan for us to vote. We were supposed to get it last week and vote on it this week, so we're on schedule.
Okay.
But we did receive it last week, and we have it in our packets again this week.
Where is it?
Madam Chair.
Yes.
It is under tab 8. It's after the information for the closed session. It is the revised document that was submitted moments before the meeting last week.
Yes. It's under tab, yeah, it's the second document under that.
It was a statement that Chief Investigator was directed to draft.
And who directed it through the chair?
The board.
It was
board
approved at
directed
the
it.
board.
Okay, I must have that. Have Corporation Counsel through the chair had a chance to review this?
So is the public statement, number 8, path forward? What is the statement?
Through the chair.
Yes, Commissioner.
To refresh Commissioner's memory, 2 weeks ago, there was a motion that the board would put out a public written statement in regards to the removal of CJIS access from the Office of the Chief Investigator. And in that motion, the board also approved for C.I. Warfield to be the one to draft that on behalf of the board. And that's what's before us now.
And is that section 7 and 8, Commissioner Camille, or is the entire document?
The entire memorandum, the executive summary, historical context, charter authority, there's like
The timeline of.
7 pages here? There's 7 pages.
Mhm. And it was sent to the commissioners on June 11th.
Yep. Through the chair, if I may ask, did Commissioner Cannell, you had a chance to review this and you vouch for the accuracy of everything in here?
Yes, I've had a chance to review it, and to my knowledge, it's accurate. Chief Investigator Warfield has been very close to this issue since the beginning, and so I trust the accuracy of what he shared in here. I know he had to leave, so he's not here to speak to it.
Right, he had to leave for a final exam. But I guess the question that I have, and maybe other commissioners, is just that Corporation Counsel reviewed it.
Yeah, I read it. It's fine.
Okay. So, so that's what the public statement is. A motion has been made. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. Okay. Any opposed? The motion carries. Thank you. So now we're going to go to new business. That's going to be a closed session pursuant to Section 8F of the Open Meetings Act, MCL 268F. Candidate Eric Stevens for the board to consider disqualified applicant appeal from DPD hiring process. Okay. So is there a motion to go into closed session?
So moved.
Okay, a motion has been made by Commissioner Watts, supported by
I'll do it.
Commissioner Bowman. Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, we have 2 minutes to go into session. Thank you.
Just one more second, see about the lights.
Okay. Oh, there we go. All right. I'd like to call the open session to order. Could we have the roll call, Madam Secretary?
Commissioner DeWalsh,
Present.
Commissioner Woods excused, Commissioner Bowman,
Present.
Commissioner Camille,
Present.
Commissioner Carter excused, Commissioner Ivy,
Present.
Commissioner Jones,
Present.
Commissioner Morris,
Present.
Commissioner Watts excused, Commissioner Williams.
Present.
7 present, Madam Chair.
Thank you. What is the pleasure of the board?
Madam Chair, I move to uphold the DPD's decision to disqualify the applicant.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Commissioner Camille to uphold DPD's recommendation to disqualify the candidate, and it's been seconded by Commissioner Morris. Is there any discussion?
Seconded.
Oh, I'm sorry, Commissioner Bowman, seconded. Is there any discussion? Go ahead,
Let the
Commissioner.
record reflect, during the hearing, the candidate stormed out of the meeting while the meeting was still going.
Okay. I'm sorry, any other,
Ms. Jackson.
does Madam Parliamentarian have something?
The parliamentarian sympathizes with the commissioner, but because that happened in closed session,
Yeah,
you cannot reflect it on the minutes in open session, sir.
okay, please just
Sorry about that.
disregard that for the minutes. Okay, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries.
Madam Chair, new business, one brief item, thank you.
Go ahead.
Thank you. I just want to thank Corporation Counsel for acknowledging his willingness to pursue independent counsel for the board if that's the board's desire, and also recognizing that we will still have access to Corporation Counsel as the lawyer as the head lawyer for the city of Detroit, and also to recognize that it's important that we have independent counsel as well for the sake of the function that we perform and for the perception of the public. So I move that we direct Corporation Counsel to start the process in obtaining independent counsel for the Board of Police Commissioners.
Second.
It's been moved by Commissioner Camille to ask Corporation Counsel to begin the process of looking for independent counsel for the board. It's been seconded by Commissioner Bowman. Is there discussion?
Yes.
Go ahead, Commissioner Morris.
Madam Chair, due to the pending legal situation, I don't know that I could vote on that or if I must recuse myself of that due to the subject nature concerns the City of Detroit Law Department, and my vote would definitely have an impact on the City of Detroit Law Department's operations.
Okay, so Commissioner Morris is recusing himself.
Well, no, I didn't say I recuse. I said I don't know. So I would ask Corporation Counsel Mallet, would that be of a conflict of interest, this particular matter here, sir?
So I intended, Commissioner, through the chair, to bring this up as a line item next week.
Yes, sir.
But so that we are clear, and with all due respect,
Yes,
I think that you are a decent human being. This is not personal.
Yes, sir.
But you have an irresolvable conflict, Commissioner. We've seen it on display twice. You recused yourself on another matter, and now the impact, as you describe it, based on, and I'm using some of the very language, so I appreciate the fact that you read the opinion that I wrote. The bottom line is that yes, you need to recuse yourself. That's my opinion, which is why I said at the end of the email that I sent to all of you, so that there would be no question as to whether or not my opinion was correct, that the matter be referred to the Board of Ethics, and that they secure outside counsel so that the board can be assured that what I'm saying is correct. So that's my recommendation. I stand by it. And Commissioner, you can make whatever decision you want.
On a recommendation of Corporation Counsel, I will recuse myself.
Okay,
Madam
please.
Chair?
Yes, Commissioner.
Additional discussion. I just want to clarify as well that the motion is not made in respect to anything personal against Corporation Counsel Conrad Mallet. This is strictly principle in nature and for the integrity of the board and our oversight role.
And so, for the record, Madam Chair, yeah, Commissioner Camille, I appreciate that, and I know that, but thank you very much.
Okay, is there any further? Go ahead, Commissioner Bowman.
Yeah, I'm looking at this size of the remaining quorum. Would it be a majority of those present, or would it require 6 votes for the motion to pass? I guess it's a parliamentary inquiry.
Requires a majority of those voting. Since you have a quorum, and this is not a vote that requires any percent of the membership of the board, it would be a majority of those voting.
I agree.
So since there are 6 voting, There would have to be 4
Right.
to pass it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any other further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of the motion, do I have to repeat it again?
Nice.
That would be no?
It would be nice.
Oh, if it would be nice. Okay. In favor of the motion to have Corporation Counsel assist us in identifying independent counsel for the board, indicate by saying yay.
Aye.
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 All those opposed? Nay?
Opposed?
No?
4-2.
4-2.
If the chair is in doubt, the chair can ask for a roll call vote. Chair in doubt about the vote?
Well, I think I want to have hands raised, if we can do that. All those in favor indicate by raising your hand.
Commissioner Williams going to vote?
I mean, you can, but we're already voting. Yeah. I have a commissioner who's, okay.
4.
Opposed? Okay, 4?
2 against.
Yes, motion carries.
I need you to say that, Madam Chair.
The motion carries. Yeah, I did just say that. Okay. Okay, what is the pleasure of the board?
Move to adjourn.
Motion has been made to adjourn by Commissioner Jones, seconded by, I didn't see who. Commissioner Bowman?
Yes.
Okay. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Good night, everyone. Thank